Their names and ranks?
They refuse to give me their names, but their ranks are 9 lieutenants, 5 captains, 3 majors, and one very fat colonel who called me a cheeky fellow.
You know, this is not the conduct of a gentleman.
If the conduct of your officers is the measure of a gentleman, I'll take that as a compliment.
Hey, welcome to the Regular Menthol podcast, where we discuss Keynote movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Chris.
Hello, folks.
We give our thoughts on the movie, our experience with it when we were younger. Then we discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with our very own Keynote rating. Today we're discussing the 2000 epic, The Patriot, starring Mel Gibson, Heath Ledger, and Jason Isaacs.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are, another week, another powerful week has gone by, a beautiful evening in the Commonwealth. How are you today, sir?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Can't complain. It's about to be like 100 degrees tomorrow. I don't know if you know this. 103 to be exact.
Is it because of our air conditioning? The air conditioning is destroying the ozone layer, causing it to be hotter.
Go on.
That's what the big wigs are telling me in the weather department.
Now, boy. How does that work exactly?
I don't know. I just keep having my air conditioning on because I feel like if that's true, ladies and gentlemen, then it's already over. It's so... Now we're just going to all have to have air conditioning on all the time.
It's so over. We're back more than we've ever been. Nah, man. Well, I guess we're going to see the Odyssey this weekend, right?
That's true. Yeah, we're all in. We are actually Nolan enjoyers.
Oh boy.
We're not buying into the hype around this movie. We're going to go see it with our own 2 eyes. We're going to make our own judgment call on this, ladies and gentlemen.
What if all the drama was just like guerrilla marketing for them to try and basically just hype up the movie, and it's like the best strategy, so everyone goes sees it, and then all the big YouTubers are like, "Oh, dude, it was awesome! Told you," and then it ends up just being like none of the hype, all that bullshit. That would be funny.
Well, the fact is that kind of marketing is probably above and beyond some kind of Hollywood studio.
or Nolan 400 IQ.
That would be super advanced. I mean, I don't think Nolan has anything to do with the marketing. Am I correct in that? Aside from personal appearances.
In terms of him making the choices for, I guess the big hoopla is the casting of it. But it would be funny if he just... I've seen this before.
They're not even in the movie.
They're not in the movie. I've seen this before. This is actually a thing. And then they end up just not being in the movie. All for nothing. Because if you notice the trailers... You notice the trailers, these characters who are everyone's getting angry about, they're not even in the trailers that I saw. What if?
What does it all mean? Pattinson, our guy Pattinson is in the movie. That much I know.
Yeah. Excited to see what he brings to the table. I just saw the preview teaser trailer for Dune, the third edition, the third installment of Dune. And they got this dude looking completely insane. He's got like no eyebrows. It looks incredible. Very excited for that. I must say I'm a fan of the new Dune, the 2 new movies, more so than the 80s one. I know that's not really, that's sacrilegious in some circles, but
I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if the 80s one is like really beloved that much. I think it's kind of polarizing itself. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I like the new ones. I think they're awesome. But anyhow, let's get into this movie, The Patriot, because there's a lot to discuss. So tell me about this thing.
Benjamin Martin, a veteran of the French and Indian War, has renounced violence to raise his family in peace on his South Carolina farm. But when the Revolutionary War reaches his doorstep, literally, and a ruthless British colonel commits an unforgivable act against his family, Martin takes up arms once more. Leading a ragtag colonial militia in guerrilla warfare against the British Army, he must reconcile the brutal soldier he once was with the father he wants to be, all while the fight for American independence exacts a devastating personal cost.
Very nice, very nice. I like it. That's a very good synopsis. Yeah, man, this is it. This is our guy, Uncle Mel Gibson, the guy. We haven't talked about him on a year of doing this podcast, aside from Apocalypto. And, you know, The kids always talk about being locked in, but I want you to tell me who's more locked in on a role than this guy in this movie.
I don't know. I
How
believe
dialed
that
is this
he
guy?
is. I believe he's a Revolutionary War hero.
He
I
plays
look
it.
at him. I say, my God,
Passes the eye
Mel
test.
is actually not of this age. He is of the late 1700s. I believe it.
Literally.
I buy in.
Well,
Yeah.
give me. Let me get a Mel Gibson movie iceberg from you. Give me a top 5 at the very least. Your choice.
Okay. Well, Lethal Weapon, Braveheart, Road Warrior, The Bounty, and The Patriot.
Okay. In no particular order?
Not really. Now, obviously, with Lethal Weapon, I'm going to go with our Punished Riggs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know if I'd put the Bounty over the Patriot, but sure.
So, yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't really like, I looked at his IMDb and I was trying to come up with movies that I liked besides these.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And there's not really, there's not that many Mel Gibson movies that I'm into, like the original Mad Max.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, what are you going to pick, Road Warrior or Mad Max? Well, I'd probably take Road Warrior over it. But the original is pretty awesome as well.
Dude, my wife, she's not a movie person whatsoever. And she'll just come out with these one-offs, like, because she saw him as a kid. And she's like, you know what movie's really good? Mel Gibson in Ransom. I'm like, or it'll just be out of nowhere. She's like, let's watch RoboCop. I'm like, all right. It came out of nowhere, but sure, we can watch RoboCop.
I respect the hell out of RoboCop.
One-offs where I'm like, okay, sure, we can watch Ransom. But,
give me back my son!
Give me back my son! So, we're talking about Uncle Mel today a lot. What happened to this guy? Like, give me his career trajectory. I guess Hollywood wasn't too happy with him for a while.
What happened? Okay, I'll tell you what happened. He was an A-list actor, and they did Braveheart, which probably made it $1 billion or something.
Mm.
And then I think he had his own studio for a while, and they made the Patriot, and then after doing the Patriot, his studio was like, well, we're gonna make a movie about Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if any of the listeners have ever read the Bible, but
go on.
The bad guys in the New Testament are, I don't know, let's say the same people that own the movie studio.
The Romans. So he made Passion of the Christ. They weren't happy about it.
Yeah, and then what happened was Mel got a DUI, okay? And while this was taking place, while he was getting arrested, he was, I guess, legitimately liquored up and starts yelling at the cop that the Jews are behind all the wars. And, the audio got out, and I guess they just weren't happy with this guy and his comments and the fact that he's making a movie about Jesus. So there you have it. Mel went off the radar for quite some time, but it didn't really matter because he financed Passion of the Christ, and it made
didn't that movie make a ton of money?
Yeah, like a stupid amount of money. But unlike regular movies, Mel is the primary guy that is financing it, so he is making all the money.
Yeah,
and they did this guerrilla marketing campaign where they were going around the churches and everything and getting basically all the churches in the country went and saw this movie.
Yeah, powerful. They're making a second one, correct?
From what I've gathered, they're making a second Passion. Jim Caviezel again playing Jesus.
Ooh, boy.
So we'll see. The resurrection. He's back. He's back from the dead.
So I'm watching this movie and I can't help but notice throughout the entire thing, Mel Gibson absolutely neck maxing. Did you notice this?
Well, not really, but I didn't really think about it, to be honest with you. But
I'm watching. I just can't get over the fact that this dude's neck. He's got like a 30-inch neck for the whole movie, and I'm wondering where this came from. I don't think he's terribly jacked, but this guy just has this yoked out neck, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, it's an interesting thing because at some point Mel did start roiding, convinced that maybe it was around the time when Expendables 3 came out and he was the bad guy in that.
Fair enough. Very
But if
possible.
you're not familiar, go online and look up the neck pill, and you'll realize what we're talking about. Is how everyone looks better. Every guy looks better when their neck is wider.
First time watch this movie? Do you recall?
Well, I mean, I don't exactly remember when it was, but I feel like there was a number of times where I watched this whole movie on TBS or TNT. Definitely a movie I'd put on in the background.
Oh, yeah. Yep. TBS, TNT used to throw some bangers on. Yeah, I can't remember myself. I think I saw bits and pieces, like you said, when it was on TV when I was younger, but this is like my favorite historical period. And I don't know if I told you this before. I was a history major before I switched. I wasn't really big on teaching the history that they teach in the curriculum in the schools. So switched over.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. But anyhow, I'd say like 2009 is when I started really getting into movies and branch out. And I'm watching this. I'm like, yeah, this is absolutely epic. Like this is a proper summertime epic movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And very historically, it's a nice period piece, I think.
I mean, when this came out, I don't really remember much what I was thinking, but it was something along the lines of, it seems like they're doing Braveheart again.
It does give a lot of Braveheart vibes. It's like you just put that character in a different time period. It's
literally, yeah.
But it works, dude. It works. It's a great movie. Literally my character. Who do you got? Who is you? Who's literally you in this movie?
Dude, I think I just vibe with Cornwallis because I'm just that distinguished gentleman, dog.
Okay, fair enough.
We're gonna fight this war correctly. We're gonna fight this war like a couple gentlemen.
You're giving me Tavington vibes, though. No offense.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I get in. I'm watching a movie and I'm like, I think this guy gets it the most. We'll get to it and everything, but it's like at a certain level, it's kind of gnarly that you're just killing women and children and stuff. But isn't that what war is at a certain level? Not this
to a degree. I mean, he puts it out there. He's like, I'm not really worried about honor. He's like, I'm worried about wins and losses. I had a shitty upbringing, so I can't lose, basically, which I respect. Yeah, I'm kind of going with Colonel Burwell, played by Chris Cooper. Not a big character, but anytime this dude's on screen, man, it's just an absolute vibe. So I just vibe with this guy. Good energy. This guy, Chris Cooper, one of my favorites. So getting into some of these fun facts here. Heath Ledger didn't work for a year because he only got offers for teen heartthrob movies. He was about to quit acting and return to Australia when he was cast in this film. Now, we talk about it a lot, but just another example of a heartthrob actor who's legit, never gets the chance. Kind of like, we talk about Robert Pattinson, which is saying this role is awesome. I mean, this is, I think, his coming out party to be a well-rounded actor. And I also read that he performed his own stunts in this movie. Not that there was a considerable amount, but respect. Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Well, there's horseplay.
Rip
Heath. You always have to respect actors that are willing to just get on horses, I guess.
Oh,
if
dude,
they don't know how to do that ahead of time.
Yeah, I've given stories before about that where I've worked sets and people get bucked off horses, get like a concussion. It's like, I'm all right.
Oh, yeah. They're giant animals that are pure muscle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're a little scary.
Yeah, who is the actor? Superman?
Christopher Reeves.
Could always get Christopher Reeves, so gotta be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
When teaching Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger how to shoot a muzzle-loading rifle, technical advisor Mark Baker gave them the advice to aim small, miss small, meaning that if you aim at a man's button, for instance, and miss, you still hit the man. Gibson liked the bit of advice so much he incorporated it into the movie just prior to the ambush scene. So this is part of the scene, which we'll get into. I think is the best scene in the movie, but I love this line, dude. I use it on a regular basis in daily life. Just like, aim small, miss small. Aim small, miss small. It's like such a good line, dude. I love it.
I look at this and I'm like, do these rifles have actual rifling in it, or are they just tubes? Did they figure out rifling yet at this point in history? I don't think know. So. Because
1776.
If that's the case, your aim is
cooked.
It's kind of cooked, and it's fascinating to watch these guys just hitting people from pretty far.
Well, they just volley. They have just lines of guys, and they just volley back and forth. So, wouldn't you just think to just spread out a little bit if you're on a line? It's like, all right, yeah, let's not stand shoulder to shoulder because then they can't hit us.
None of it makes sense. None of the battle. There's a lot of elements that don't make any sense to me at all.
Wow, how far we've come. Aunt Charlotte's house is the same one used in Forrest Gump with slightly different interior paneling. The stone hedge visible in Forrest Gump is camouflaged with bushes in the film. Did you notice that, by the way?
I'm not familiar with Forrest Gump's house too much.
Wow. Well, I think it's the pathway, the road leading into it is like identical, so it makes you catch it. I caught it real quick, but anyhow, Mel Gibson and Jason Isaacs practiced their complicated fight sequence almost every day of the 100-day shoot. Assuming that they did it at the end, you got to think about that. That grind, that dedication.
That is
to
so
knock this
funny.
thing out. 100 days. Hey, man, you want to go practice our fight scene in the end? Oh, yeah, sure.
Their fight
Love
scene is like slow motion.
Exactly, dude. You could have just shot it in slow motion. It's like, all right, not that complicated. Mel Gibson improvised the soon line. He was supposed to give no response, which I think is, we'll talk about that when we get there, but I do like that line as well, man. This guy was so locked into this character. He just took the bull by the horns. Love it.
Dude, here's a fun fact for you. Okay. I was looking this movie up on the gun database website, what guns were in this movie, because I was curious how big they are.
Yeah.
And I put in The Patriot, and there's 2 movies that are called The Patriot, one of which is this one. And then the other one is a 1998 Steven Seagal movie.
Powerful.
And but if you look at the movie poster for each one, they're almost identical. You're familiar with the movie poster of this movie, where it's like a picture of Mel's face over the like horizon kind of thing? Literally the same movie poster for The Patriot with Steven Seagal, where it's his face over the horizon. But Seagal's came out two years before. I was captivated.
Steven Seagal. Maybe we'll do a Steven Seagal movie one day. All right, so let's get into some of these Keynote scenes. We got a lot to talk about. So, movie opens, and it's established that Chad Gibson has 7 kids running around on this farm, and I'm just angry because I'm thinking, why is this not my life? You know what I mean? You vibe with that?
Well, yeah,
yeah. It's like I would go back in time and own a farm in a heartbeat and live this lifestyle.
You mean as opposed to the modern lifestyle with all our amenities and the TVs and all that? Is that what you're referring to, dog? Yeah.
I don't know, man. This kind of seems rad. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I watched this and afterwards I'm just feeling like, yeah, dude, I'm Benjamin Martin.
You're Ben Martin.
I got to be Ben Martin. Is that possible? So I'm also loving the fact that his 2 sons are just there at the opening scene. They're like checking the mail. And he's got them so disciplined that they have to wait until and he just keeps messing with them, like pouring a drink or whatever. And he's like, what came in the mail? And they're just immediately sprint to the mail to check it out. It's like, they don't have a TV, to your point. They have nothing going on all day. They're just doing these chores. So it's like, let's see what's happening out in the world. And let me just check the newspaper and see what battles are going on, who got enlisted. Complete insanity.
Yeah, so I saw that and I was intrigued, but the next scene after that just makes it much more obvious to me that is these are kids. Right. So they're not like capable of like zipping around to different areas wherever they want. They're not going out to hang out or whatever. They're just chilling with their family on the farm.
Yeah, dude,
and then the next scene,
like 3 acres over.
There's like a scene where all these people are outside shooting guns and burning effigies. Mm-hmm. Did you notice that when they're going to their aunt's house?
Yeah,
they're like Benjamin is called to the town square to have this discussion on whether they're gonna have a war or whatnot. And there's just all these people just seemingly liquored up, shooting guns in the air and burning stuff. And I'm like, just a reminder to everyone that you can't have this today because of the big game.
The big game.
How many people did you know were out and about and losing their mind over the World Cup?
Worldwide, a lot.
Like, I went down to the big city.
Oh, wow.
Last weekend. it was illuminating, and they were watching. This wasn't this last week; it was the weekend before, but we were watching the Norway game. So yeah, I went to the big city. I watched these soccer games, the World Cup games, and there was like 1 million people in the bar with me, and I'm like, these are the people right now that could be rioting over taxes.
Yeah, dude, literally. But
they're
sidetracked with all bullshit.
These TVs in the bars, people were getting liquored up. They're all fired up and everything. What if we could turn the TVs off and then just have a discussion about things? They redacted the Epstein files because they know you, the listener, won't riot for real.
Yeah, literally. It's funny. It's a good point. Yeah, they know that we're cooked, dude. They're like, all right, let's just keep, what is it, the famous quote of back in like the Roman era, give them bread
and circuses,
and they won't ever fight back.
Damn
so
near.
True though. It's like, dude, this is a movie about taxes, and we're currently paying what, 30% in taxes. So a third, like over a quarter of your lifeblood is going just straight back to the government to pay for bullshit.
It's and how much of it is because of interest payments to the Federal Reserve?
Right. Where's that money going?
Folks, oh God.
Oh boy. So, a quick note, I mentioned it earlier, Chris Cooper, small role, but again, anytime this guy's on screen, I just absolutely love this guy. Very fluid actor. I don't even know, man. He's just super comfortable in any role he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, another Mount Rushmore guy for me. You know, it has this serious, annoyed look on him that works.
Yes. Same exact thing in pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much everything he does. It's just like the exact same tone, but it rules, dude. I love it. So Mel has these looks. Speaking of, throughout the entire movie, not sure if you caught it immediately, but kind of difficult to explain. Where he does this like half blink and then he looks away, like it's almost like this defeated look. Mm-hmm. But then he uses it for a bunch of different expressions. Did you catch that? It's kind of wild.
Yeah, this is the Mel Gibson look. It's like, how do I explain this? He's like having to explain something to someone.
Yeah. But
not wanting to say what's obvious. I don't know if that makes any sense what I just said, but
maybe. But no, it's just, we always talk about people's expressions, looks, faces. He does it throughout this movie. I'm thinking like, this gets over somehow and actually works. So I don't mind it. But absolutely Keynote scene, if we're talking about, the way it's shot. And it's the kids looking out the window at night, and it's like late dusk going into night, and there's a shootout in the field behind their house, right? It's just the sound of these flintlock guns going off, and the visual, it's just incredible looking. This is easily one of my favorite shots in the entire movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because I sometimes will hallucinate this scene when I'm looking out my window. I'm just like, the blurry line between your home of safety,
right,
and just
that's
absolute
what it is,
war, rules, killing each other across the street.
Yes, it's crazy, dude.
I've never seen anything really like that in a movie.
Yeah, it is really cool, dude. They do it twice in this movie. We'll get to the other one later, but enter Jason Isaacs as this colonel. Thoughts on Jason Isaacs?
Just a top villain actor. Really appreciate his menacing look that he brings. Yeah. And it makes me think sometimes, is it an actor cultivating that look, or is it just something about the guy's bone structure that makes him look like a villain?
Dude, even in Armageddon, where he's like the NASA dude, he still has this look to him. It's like, I'm not completely comfortable around this guy, but I'll keep him at arm's length.
Yeah, like, you're right. In Armageddon, he's just like a smug prick, and he's like, I'm telling you the world's going to end. You better believe me, because I'm me.
I'm the smartest guy on the planet, so you might want to listen to me.
Right.
So another thing, we're touching on all these subjects, but like, we always talk about CGI, but they set the house ablaze, and then it was Charlotte's house, and then later they set the church ablaze. Not CGI, practical effects, looks absolutely amazing. You can tell because the smoke is like bellowing out. It just looks incredible.
It's really underrated. A real fire how good it looks.
Dude, looks so good. So this leads us to, again, what I was saying in the beginning is this is probably my favorite scene of the movie. Absolute top tier scene of a lot of movies, but it's where Benjamin takes his two youngest sons into the woods. So let's talk about strategy here for a second. Kind of genius, right? He knows he's up against 10 to 20 dudes, so he's already has to load up and set all these different rifles all over the place. Comes up with this strategy on the fly, right? High pressure situation, knows what he's going to do, and he tells the older son to reload for his younger son, right? Then he delivers this awesome line where he's like, he's just locked in, sweating, and he's like, boys, Samuel, steady. And just gets up and he goes. He doesn't even give him a chance to like be scared because he just cuts this pep talk short. Good strategy though, is it not?
Well, it's funny he runs out of the house. He just goes upstairs, grabs all his gear, and he runs out with like
he's kitted out,
rifles over his shoulder. And we're not talking about, these short barrel rifles. We're talking about 30-inch barrels on these things.
Yeah. Right.
They're gigantic.
Dude, this is Boogie Out kit.
Yeah, his bug.
And not for nothing.
He grabs the tomahawk and 5 rifles.
Yeah,
and
literally.
bounces.
And dude, Nathan, the older of the two sons, he's the one that's actually kind of cooking in this scene. If you notice, he hits like 4 kills. Mm-hmm. He's just plucking these dudes off left and right. Like, think about that. Like, that's like you mentioned before. These are not easy shots. And this kid's probably like not even 10 years old, shaking, and he's just in fear.
The counterpoint is that they probably have nothing to do all day except shoot.
Oh, yeah. Agreed 100%. But the best part, I think, is at the end where he's butchering this last guy, right? And he looks up and he sees all 3 of them, Gabriel included, and they're just traumatized. And you have this like kind of doomy music playing. And it's like they think it's cool to be a part of this war and yada, 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 shooting people. And they know this dad is like this lame-o who doesn't do anything. They just heard, people talk about stories of him. But they don't know that this dude has a dog in him, right? And he just lost his one son, so he just completely takes out on this last soldier. And I'm like, this is really, really good writing.
Yeah, man, this is one of the best scenes, dude. I love this scene so much. These kids go from seeing their brother shot and killed by this British colonel to having their dad bringing them to go get revenge. Like, you would always want to do something with if you're a little kid, you want to like go and murk people with your dad, right?
Maybe. Did I want to do that as a kid?
and then it just cuts. It's like that excitement level to them shooting a bunch of British. Oh, now I'm like in a pressure situation, right? I have to actually kill people.
Yeah.
To then finally seeing their dad is just this next level, like fighter dude. Yeah. Like, what an insane roller coaster of emotions going on there.
Yeah, like I said, man, I just think it's a cool shot, the way that he's all bloodied and he's in the zone because he's so angry, and he just looks up, looks back, completely covered in blood, and he's like, oh shit. And they're just staring at him, like mouth open. It's like, this is who he really is, right?
This is the reality of war.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's just a really nice shot. And this is getting to what I was saying before about the shot looking out the window. This is the second iteration of it where Gabriel's he's in this mansion, right? And he's looking out the front door window. And this battle's about to pop off in the front yard. And it's a little bit different because it's broad daylight, which even gives it more of almost a scarier than the nighttime scene. And it's like the camera is following him, and he just cuts out from camera right, and it fades right into the glass pane, almost like it goes right out into the battlefield. Very cool shot. Very nicely done.
Yeah, I just want to point out, though, that this is insane.
Yeah.
When I'm watching this, I think this is insane. Now, I don't know how much modern war footage you watch.
I've seen some videos.
So it's like a lot of the modern war is calling in airstrikes, right?
Exactly. I've seen those.
You have, the airstrikes, you have snipers.
Yeah.
You have drones now, which is even more insane. But at this point, war is a bunch of dudes lining up in a field and just firing at each other. So you could, in theory, watch this from your front porch.
Yeah.
So it's not out of the
ordinary
ordinary that something, and then I think to myself, though, like, who decides where the battlefields are? These guys are all just lining up. Is this some kind of thing that happened where they had a gentlemanly agreement to just meet somewhere ahead of time?
No, I think they have scouts who ride ahead, and they can see where the battalion is set up and where they're marching towards. So they know the lay of the land. So they're like, okay, there's only one path they can really go. So, hey, we're going to cut them off here. And then if you recall where Cornwallis says, you can't go after officers, yada, yada, yada. There's a whole hierarchy of this, this war into, Civil War. Like these were fought in a very, I guess you would say, gentlemanly way, right? But to your point, like you'd have, they would ride out, the scouts would figure out where they're going. They would, step up to him basically. And then there would be a whole volley back and forth. But another cool shot in this scene, you're saying about like war footage, is the cannonball skipping across the ground. It comes right at camera and it just takes this dude's head off. Like, this is, dude, what a cool shot.
Yeah, man. Just think about if you're the guy standing next to him. Like, how much of this is just dumb luck?
Dumb luck.
I mean, I guess a lot of war is, but, they're literally lining up and just blasting each other. And it's just, they're like, no one's like jumping out of the way or anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy.
It's all chance.
I don't know.
Because that's what it is. I mean, these dudes are like fighting for the cause, right? So they're not chickening out. They're like, okay, if I die, I die. It's just dumb luck. It just is what it is. But yeah, it's pretty wild to think about, just that whole structure of how that war was fought. Versus, now it's all tactical and, you have weapons and different type of technology that can tell what's around each corner. You have like thermal heat sensors and shit. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, but even back then, when he's doing that guerrilla warfare with his sons and they go and kill all those like 20 guys, the British are like, there's a ghost out there. And it's literally just Mel Gibson and his two sons just picking off people like snipers. It's like this revolutionary idea of just going in the woods and attacking them when they're not expecting it. My God, this guy's a ghost. It's just, he's like, I think they said that because right on us.
One guy took out, they think it's one guy, not the sons, but it's like, yeah, this one dude took out an entire battalion. So, but as I was talking about Cornwallis, Tom Wilkinson plays General Cornwallis. Great casting call. He's like this super intelligent, elegant guy, right? Master technician, but at the same time, he's telling Tavington that, the colonials are their brethren. We have to establish trade with them once this is all over, right? So we have to play by the rules. But then when he gets pissed off at Benjamin, he tells Tavington, by any means necessary, because now he's just pissed. So great range of emotions in this movie. Great scene, which I'll get into with Benjamin Martin. Great casting choice for Tom Wilkinson.
Yeah, I mean, this guy gets what the war is all about. He's there to put down a rebellion. He's not there to like fight a war. He's putting down a rebellion of these guys, these inferior fighters. And it's like, yeah, we're going to set up trade with these guys after the war. So,
right.
Because
he sees it from like a higher
off too much
point of view. Right. He sees it from a 30,000 point of view.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the scenes where this next scene, Gabriel goes into a church to recruit members. Did this shock you at all? This girl that Gabriel is trying to mac on. Yeah. And she basically stands up and just calls all these dudes in the church a big pussy. And again, immediately after that, all these guys start standing up like they're going to sign up. It's like, imagine that people would actually go to war because this girl is calling you like a pussy in the church. Just think about that for a second. Current year, this seems a little cringe in that, like, would anyone really care what this person has to say?
Probably not. but back then,
but
it's
it
an
seems
honor
period
thing.
accurate. 100%. Yeah. And it's
Well,
like,
the thing is, they're all they're on the cozy level. These guys, they're now farmers. They're like, okay, we got away from England. We're not paying tax anymore. We're cozy now. We want to start families. We don't want to fight anymore. But you're going to be militia, my friend, because they're going to come and burn. They're going to burn the church down with you inside it. Feel me?
that's a fact. And I mean, I don't know how many people actually did sign up. We'd have to look into the actual numbers, but isn't it something like 10% or something is needed to actually have some kind of actual revolution? Like, how many of these people signed up in real life?
I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. But in the church scene, I think it's only a handful of guys. Are you looking to start a revolution team?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, let's look at the taxes, dude. The taxes, like you said, are like 30% or whatever. Why aren't we cutting people's heads off? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like no one can buy a house. There's literally just admitted pedophilia going on in the government, and it's like, yeah, but who cares, dude? Like, what's Holland doing in the World Cup?
It is a distraction, my friend, as you mentioned before. It's a good point, though. So the scene between Benjamin and Gabriel, where he finally tells him about Fort Wilderness, great scene. So Gabriel, at the end of it, though, he's kind of the voice of reason, right? And he says, Father, there will be time for revenge, but not at the expense of our cause. Stay the course, right? So I just read this as, yeah, he's the voice of reason, but he doesn't understand that this dude is a full-out killer. Like, he's seen some shit, and he is now unlocked, right? He's going to see this thing through.
That's it. It seems the theme of the movie is that this guy is not one to go back to being a complete psycho murderer. Yeah. When in reality, deep down inside, that's what he is. He's this like ultimate killer, ultimate warrior. But
yeah,
it's like, hey, dude, you're my son and everything, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, you saw a couple battles and everything. I don't think you really truly understand that you're just dealing with me, the ultimate warrior.
Tiger got out of the
Stay
cage.
The course.
Tiger got out of the cage. But I mentioned it before, the scene with Benjamin and Cornwallis. Great scene. I love this scene. So Cornwallis, like I mentioned, he's just this professional, very respectful, very gentlemanly exchange between the two. And I think it's just cool that they put this in there because it's like, then you can see the back end of the war, where not even these colonels and, you know, lower tier guys that you see like Tavington and whatnot, Chris Cooper's character, but you see the higher ups, the generals, and just how they act. Because they're cozy the whole time, dude. They're never on the front lines. You know, they're master tacticians, and they have their maps out doing this shit. So I think it's a nice touch to throw him, the guerrilla fighter, the ghost, having exchange with Cornwallis, the general.
Dude, there's so many parts of this movie where I start to question reality, where I'm like, it doesn't make any sense what I'm even watching. But I have to look at it through the lens of, this is in the 1700s, dog.
Yeah.
This is a brother war.
Yeah, literally. No more brother wars.
Like, I don't understand this kind of mutual respect between enemies. You're in a war where you're trying to kill each other, right? They just let him walk up because he's got a white flag.
Well, I mean, they could shoot him down in 2 seconds.
They could, but they don't. The point is, like, here's a guy, you find out that he's the leader of the enemies, and you just let him go. That's why, like, the Tavington is just like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, I think this guy might be the smartest guy in this movie.
Well, no, because if you recall, though, hang on. If you recall, Cornwallis mentions, you're reflecting of me once this has been told. I mean, they could obviously, you know, change what actually happened when it's being told to the king, but if this gets back to him, that he didn't fight with honor or do something, you know, just straight up shot this dude, that's an issue. So he's playing by rules. These people had morals. I don't know if you know this, but they had morals back in the day that people don't have anymore.
The idea of like, oh, we're going to be on a battlefield and just slice each other to death, but there's going to be rules to this thing. Like, that's so fascinating to me.
But
it's like, imagine if it was Zoomers. Zoomers get drafted into a new war, and they've been playing first-person shooters for 20 years, just screaming at each other in game chat. You fucking camper! You fucking camper! And just their muscle memory just takes it right onto the legit actual battlefield, and they start yelling at people.
Not very tactical. So
it would
then,
be totally different, yeah.
Tavington confronts Benjamin at the fort, right, which you were just talking about, and he tries to antagonize him to fight. And this is where Martin responds. He just says, looks at him dead in the eyes, like, before this war's over, I'm going to kill you. And dude, he says this with complete devoid of emotion. It's like, I'm not sure that anyone else can deliver this line better than Mel. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And that's when I mentioned he follows up with that. He's like, soon, when he walks away. He wasn't supposed to say it, but, you know, he's so locked in, he just oversteps the director. He's like, no, I'm going to say it. We're just going to put that in the movie.
We're talking about Mel Gibson in the year 2000. He's an A-list actor. He's got the gravitas of the leading male role. He can pull it off. A certain je ne sais quoi about this guy. I don't know what it is. It is his aura. I don't know. But you believe him.
Aura farming? Yeah.
I mean, he's able to say this line that, like, if I said it in the movie, it would be cringe. But because it's Mel Gibson and he has such distinctive aura, like, before this war is over, I'm going to kill you. And you're like, oh, yeah, dude, I'm all in. I believe him. I believe he is that guy. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it cuts to them going to Charlotte's. I don't even know. They're going to the beach or whatever. But this chick who plays Charlotte, Jolie Richardson, hot.
Yeah, I love her. I mean,
so hot.
Yes. I think she is hot.
Seal of approval from that. Seal of approval. So hot.
Really? I remember her from that show Nip Tuck. If you remember that.
Dude, that's exactly where I remember her from. I watched that whenever it came out. I'm like, what is this weird show? And I just got into it for like the first couple seasons. I don't even know how many seasons it was, but yes, that's exactly where I remember her from.
If you notice in this, I can't tell, but it looks like she's made up to look like she doesn't have makeup on.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's what like a dime is looking like. 1770s dime.
Oh my God, yeah, for sure. And this time period, yeah, she's doesn't even fit the casting because she doesn't look like she's in this time period. But so it cuts to him or her kissing Benjamin, and this is actually his dead wife's sister.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Is this taboo?
I don't think no, I don't think so, because this is probably another one of those things where it's the 1700s, so times are a little bit different. But think of it from the perspective of the evil stepmother role, right? She wouldn't, in theory, be evil to this guy's 7 kids or whatever, because those are her nephews and nieces. It's her sister's kids, so she wouldn't be an evil stepmother.
Is that incest?
Not technically.
I guess not.
No.
Okay.
Mel's not related to her. Benjamin Martin's not related to her, so you know.
Well, yeah, and she's
good to go.
And dude, like you mentioned, the aura that he has the whole time, and she has to stand there and watch this. She's like, okay, it's my sister and all, but shit, dude, I gotta go for it.
Yeah. So what is attracting her? This is a major
from his perspective.
This is a major red pill for the audience. Listen up, audience. This is a red pill. What's the most attractive thing about Mel Gibson in this movie? It's the fact that he's an ultra violent killer.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
The ability to inflict violence, the most attractive thing to a woman.
This is what they like.
I said it. Right. Well, I think so.
Many such cases.
Serial killers on death row getting
love the podcasts.
Multiple letters from women.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy marrying a woman, having kids.
I think there's some merit behind what you're saying. All right, fair enough. But speaking of, you know, like I said, they're at the beach scene, and this scene where his youngest daughter Susan runs after him. This scene always hits me right in the feels, bro. Real talk. And I think it's probably just because I had a younger daughter, but great scene. This little girl absolutely sells it. She's like fucking like 2 years old, 5 years old, whatever. And he hugs her though. And this is what I was saying at the beginning about these looks that he has, because he hugs her, and it shows from her back angle, and he has these insanely large, bulging out eyes, and he like grips her tight again, and it's just like half the time these giant, wide open eyes in this movie are like anger, and then now it's like just completely overjoyed because this girl is crying for him. Completely insane.
Look at the range of Mel. Look at it, right?
This is true.
This girl can't speak because I guess there's some deal with her mother dying when she was real young from something. It's not explained in the movie, but she's not speaking. So finally she goes like, "Daddy," and then runs up to him, and he turns around and runs back to her, right? And he legitimately looks like he's crying. And it's not just, tears coming down his face or whatever. It's like his whole face contorts where you believe he actually is that guy that's, upset that he's leaving his daughter.
Yeah, definitely. No, it sells, man. I like it. It's a good scene. Hits me in the feels. Every time.
So, Tavington goes into this church with the town to find out who's been helping Benjamin, etc., right? And I think to myself, did people back then carry weapons or what? Like, there's 30 people in this church, and there's a guy on a horseback threatening you, but it's one guy. Now, yeah, I know that there's other soldiers around, but this guy is basically saying, like, he's going to kill everyone. And why isn't everyone just rushing him and just beating the shit out of him and beating him to death? Well, I don't know. I mean, it would take an extreme act of courage, but I think that these people, these old people in the 1700s, I think they have that courage in spades, my friend. And I feel like a guy on a horseback, yeah, a little bit scary, but it's one guy, just super punch him off the horseback.
Yeah,
so, you ended the movie right there.
There's a possibility of that, but at the same time, in that whole era leading up to the late 1800s, you were never to walk around with guns on. It wasn't proper. So you're not going to church. If you recall when the pastor told Gabriel when he came to church with the gun, he's like, "Young man, this is a place of worship. We're praying for the souls that we just lost." So yeah, you're not just going to have guns on you. There's no concealed carry back then. But to your point, I mean, they could just rally around and beat the dude to death if they wanted to, but I think they're kind of in shock and they don't know what's going on.
Like, that would be just like all the guys just decide to collectively tackle this dude. And he's like, "Guards!"
That'd be awesome.
And they just beat him up. So I mentioned this earlier. I think this Tavington guy might be the only intelligent guy in this movie. He's the only guy that's concerned with winning, besides Uncle Mel. But it's like, you're going up against these guys with these flintlock rifles and pistols. They're prone to missing and misfiring, taking a minute to reload. Just run up to them after they miss and stab them. While like, that's what he does in this movie. He's got this giant saber, and it's like, brother, just run up and just stab this dude. He's taking a minute to reload. You don't have to give him the gentlemanly minute to allow him to reload.
Did you ever reload one of these things? One of these rifles?
Bro, it's a huge pain in the ass. I know. And it's not guaranteed to fire either. There's a lot of, like, they show it in that movie, The Last Samurai, with Tom Cruise. Incredible movie where Tom Cruise is the last samurai on Earth. There's a whole scene about that where it takes so long to reload these things.
Well, I think the whole thing is these guys they're young kids too, right? So, fear is, it's like, okay, this is my armor, is this gun. So I have to quickly reload, and they're not ready for hand-to-hand combat. This dude's a seasoned veteran. Okay. Tavington. So this dude's scaring the shit out of them. So they know they're not going to win hand-to-hand combat. So they have to reload this rifle as quick as they can.
Quick, pack it. I'm dead. This is the only guy that just rolls around with a giant saber, though.
Yeah,
I'm like, yes, this guy gets it. This guy isn't about letting his enemies just walk out because it's the nice thing to do. You're in a war.
He's proven that. Yeah, he's proven that.
Yeah. And it's breaking my mind towards the end, the last battle, to think about these people just lined up and shot. Now, I don't know if you notice it, because it's even more insane in the last one. They line up one side goes like, aim, fire, and the other side just stands there and takes it. Then it's like, okay, then it's the other side's turn to go. Aim, fire. All the while, there's these just cannonballs going off, and you're hoping that the cannonballs shoot over you. They're coming damn close to those front lines of a little friendly fire accident going on. So you're in the front lines. How much terror are you in on these front lines? Where you're like, oh, I got a 50-50 chance here. Maybe not to do some big papa pump math, but I got a 50-50 chance with the guns. You take that 50-50 chance and lower it by about 30% because of the cannonballs might drop on my head. You know what I mean? Like it's so inconceivable. Also, the fact that Mel and this militia are, I guess they're all these dudes that he found in a bar. They're all veterans, and they're all veterans of combat that doesn't involve standing in lines and shooting each other. Just flanking them. Like, well, not one guy decided to break ranks and flank and just go, yeah, I'm going to set up over here on the side.
It makes
incredible,
you think, dude. So this is 1776, right? You have a whole history of people, Romans, all these dudes who use shields. Like, if you know that that's the standard procedure, why do these dudes not have shields and the front line just rocks these shields and just holds them up when the first volley of bullets are going through? That's what I
don't. My first thought when you say that is, number one, it makes sense. Number two, the officers are probably like, this is too much cumbersome work. Let's just have them line up and shoot each other.
Yeah,
like they don't care at all about their like frontline guys, to the extent that they're like, let's not even set up a shield. Let's just set up and just see who wins.
Human shield.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you get like a nice little 4 foot by 2 foot shield for each guy with just enough wood. I know it'd be heavy to lug around, but it's like, all right, it's just part of it, right? I think that would go a long way in the ranks.
Dude,
saving guys.
Totally in agreement. And I don't know why that ever went away, because guns have existed for quite some time before this. So, right. And bombs and stuff. And it's like, yeah, what happened to shields? I have to do a real deep dive into what
I got to go back in time and rewrite history. Yeah. Yeah. It just makes too much sense. That's all.
But if you notice, the fight between Tavington and Ben Martin, it turns into just a saber versus tomahawk battle.
Yeah, for sure.
Which makes total sense. They just charge at each other, these lines, and it's like, well, yeah, no one's reloading now. They're just bayoneting each other.
Yeah, it turns into...
And so you get this saber versus tomahawk battle. Like, if you're ever in a fight like this, dog, and you're the guy with the saber, just stay on the outside range of him and poke at him.
Can't do it, dude.
You notice that this
Uncle
guy
Mel,
is trying to
he's
get
too
in
athletic, bro.
on Mel.
He's too athletic.
I watch this kind of stuff and I'm like, I lose my mind sometimes. But the saber guy does pretty much win. But Mel has some kind of supernatural ability to know when a sword's getting swung at his head from behind. So he wins in the end.
Natural athleticism, my friend. Natural athleticism.
That's all instinct, baby. Woo!
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's your Keynote rating for this movie? Really dive in.
Easy 9 for me. I mean, this is peak 90s Keynote. Great soundtrack. Like I mentioned before, incredible practical effects. But more importantly for me is the writing and acting. I think the story is great with a period piece. I don't know about accuracy. I know that a lot of these scenes are made up for the dramatic effect. But I like the back and forth between Benjamin and Tavington. It's like you have this, good versus bad throughout the whole movie. And it plays out multiple times. Pacing's really good. And then just the acting, like I mentioned before, dude, hats off all around. I mean, you got the kids even do a fantastic job. Yeah, all around. It's an easy 9 for me. I'd watch this. I could watch this once a year. It's a proper movie epic. How about yourself?
Well, I mean, I give this movie an 8. I don't think I liked it as much, but I really enjoy this movie, but it's perhaps like not like up towards the top of my favorites or whatever. It's more like a movie I'll always watch in the background. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I want to mention though that it's funny you say peak 90s Keynote, because I agree with you. Right? I think
It's
this
just
is
got that vibe,
I think
dude.
this 100%. This is more a 90s movie, I would say. And the movie came out in 2000, right?
Yeah.
But I see it as
Tail end.
the last of 90s summer blockbuster type movies.
Yeah, agreed.
The end of an era, if you will. There's some parts of this movie, after watching it, I find somewhat cringe, but very few and far between, and it's overshadowed by the nature of people at that time is intriguing to me.
Fair enough. So if you haven't seen it, folks, check out The Patriot with Mel Gibson. As always, thanks for listening. Check us out on our website, www.regularmenthol.com, or shoot us a line at regularmenthol@gmail.com. Appreciate you listening, and yeah, share an episode with someone. Give us a rating. We appreciate it.
Yes.
What do we got next week?
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Okay.
First, a documentary about me.
I can quote
Jim
this
Carrey,
movie,
first appearance.
This movie, dude, me and my brothers watched in our van, traveling around maybe 1,000 times. I can pretty much quote this verbatim from start to finish. But until then, catch you on the next one.